everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and now that we have our Cricut cartridges loaded to our Gypsy, we're going to go ahead and start working on some basic keys like adding images and stuff to your mat. So let's go ahead and start a new file, and that's just the first icon on your screen here. And I'm going to select my 12 by 12 because I have a Cricut Expression, but if you have a baby Cricut or a Cricut Create, you would click on the 6 by 12, or if you want to work on a fairly large project, you would select the 24 by 12. And that's for the 24 by 12 Cricut mat. So let's go ahead and select the 12 by 12. And what we're going to be doing is working first with just showing you how to add images to your Cricut mat. Down in the bottom right here is the overlay key, and this is what normally you would put on your Cricut machine when you're getting ready to plug your cartridge in and add your overlay key. So we're just going to go ahead and select that. And to browse your cartridges that you have, you would click down at the bottom. Right now it's showing Simply Charmed, but you would just click on the cartridges, select that you want to use your linked cartridges. Oops. Linked cartridges. And these are all the cartridges that I have. And I'm just going to go through and look for one maybe that I want to work with. So let's pick, let's see, let's go with Savory. It's a Cricut-like cartridge. So we're going to go ahead and select Savory, and you can see now that that name is down on the bottom here. And I'm just going to select any image, so let's just go with this apron. It's really cute here. So I'm just going to select that, and it shows right up here on the top of my screen. Okay, let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see all of my screen. Okay, there we go. And so right now I have one image selected. I'm just going to go ahead and click on down here in the corner the image of my mat, and now that is added to my mat. What you do to select it and move around is, right now if it's unselected it's black, but if you select it it's blue and it has a little box around it. It might be hard to see that on the video, but what you would do is just select it and move your image to wherever you want on the screen. To zoom in to see a little bit more in detail, you would just click or hold down on the top silver button. So I'm holding the top silver button over here and then tapping my screen. And I'm just using my stylus to move around on my screen here. So you can see, and the more you tap, the closer in it gets. Okay? So that's our image right there. And then the pan button, which is the silver button down at the bottom, actually moves around the same thing as if you just used your stylus and held down on it and moved it around. Okay? To zoom out, you just click the button once and you're done. Okay? So that is just showing one image on the screen. If you were working on a project that you wanted to put multiple images on the screen at one time, you would just go ahead and select your images. So we're just going to go ahead and select 3 different ones here. Hit the little mat key down on the bottom, and there are all 3, and we'll zoom in one more time so you can see that, because they are at 1 inch right now. There's all 3 of them, and they're grouped together. Whenever you add an image on the screen or at one time, they will group together, so you can move those around. To ungroup those, what you would do is, well, let me first show you, if you just wanted to select one of these images that's in the group, you could double tap it and it turns purple, and you could just move that one image. However, it is still grouped together, so you can see the box is a little wider that way. If I double tapped and moved it over here, select it again, now you can see the box is even bigger. Okay, so let's just double tap this one more time and move it up here. And I've selected to click off of it. If I wanted to ungroup these, I would just go ahead and select it, hit this key right here, which is your grouping and ungrouping key, and go ahead and tap on each image. And then turn off our group key, and now each one of these images are ungrouped. So you can move them anywhere on your mat. If you wanted to group them back together, what you would do is hit your group key again and select your image one at a time, and now they're all grouped together again, just like so. Just remember to turn off your group key before you do anything, because it will, every time you touch, you might end up ungrouping one of them. Okay? So let me just zoom out by hitting my silver button on the top there, and I'm going to go ahead and remove that from the screen. And to remove an image from the screen, you just click this little X button right there. Okay? So let's go ahead and select another image, and then let's just stay with this apron because I think it's adorable. And let's work on changing its how the height or width of this. Let's start with one of the easier things to do, and is just to use this larger button and smaller button, and that just goes ahead and sizes it this way. Okay, you could also go up here to these two boxes and select height and change your height by either typing it in. So let's type it in at 5.0, and that's a 5-inch piece. And you can also do it by just selecting the arrows and holding them down. Okay, whenever you change your image, the height and the width are connected together. So if you check the height to be at 4 inches, and let's go ahead and do that right now, 4 inches, it'll automatically calculate the width to be proportionate with your image. If you use this little gray or gold chain right here and unclick that gold chain, whenever you pick something, say we're going to change the head on this now to be 6 inches, the only thing will change is the height. The width will stay the same because we unchecked that gold chain right there. So now this apron is now at 6 inches, and the width stayed at 5.05. So let's go ahead and click our chain again, change this back to 5 inches. Okay. And, well, actually, let's go ahead and remove this. We'll do something. Our next button that we're going to work on is our undo button, which is this button right here. And when I clicked it, the last image that I took off was this little boat or gravy boat or creamer or whatever you want to call it. I think it's probably a creamer bowl. It actually brought it back because that was the last thing I did, was I removed it. So I just hit the, selected it, hit the X, and now it's gone. And then if I wanted it back, I would just hit the undo key, and it only steps back once. To cut, what you would do is just hit this icon right here, connect your Gypsy to your Cricut, hit the load mat key, and that would feed your mat into your Cricut, and go ahead and do that. I will show you on a separate video how to do that because it's easier if I'm right at my Cricut machine to do it. So I'm just going to hit exit on this one. And let's see, I think that's really it for your basics on how to use, how to add images to your mat. The other thing I wanted to show you is how to search for images. When I first got my Gypsy, it was harder to find stuff. So what you do is just hit this little button, and let me hit cancel, this little Cricut icon with the magnifying glass right down in the bottom, and that's your search key. You could do it two ways. You could do a keyword search if you click on it, and you could do alphabetical. So say you're looking for G, and let's see, a garbage truck. And it would go ahead and tell you that there's a garbage truck on the My Community cartridge. And when you click on it, it takes you right to that mat. Now I don't have the My Community cartridge, which is why it's red down here on the bottom. So let's hit cancel. And let's go ahead and do a search again. And let's look for something different. Let's look for a garden sign. Okay? And I don't have that cartridge either. So let's find something that I actually have a cartridge on. Maybe something with garden tools. So if there was more than one image that have, or one cartridge with garden tools on it, you would see a list. This was just Walk in My Garden. It has garden tools, and if you click on it, it'll show you just by graying out all the other ones and keeping the one that has the garden tools highlighted. You just click OK. It automatically adds it to your list up here, and you hit the mat key and it adds it to your mat. One of the other things you could do with searching is you could do keywords, or go into your searching, click this little keypad, and you can type in, let's just carry it over my garden tools. So let's just type in a teapot. So I typed in teapot, clicked OK, and it's going to take a second or two to actually do the searching. Okay, and then according to this, Disney, Once Upon a Princess, and Pagoda all have teapots on them, but I know there might be a couple of other cartridges that have teapots. So I'm just going to hit cancel, and I'm going to hit cancel again. And that's just some basic searching tips. Just to give you some little information on your overlays or your cartridge overlays, just like you would on the overlay when you put it on your machine, it has all your layers, and these are your function keys. If you want to see an image bigger, you would hold down your top silver key and click the image, and it actually gives you a bigger picture of that image. So if you have a hard time seeing it, just do that, and it actually is easier. And then you just hit your silver button again to remove it. So, and then of course all over here are all your function keys over here, including your shift and your shift lock and your space and your backspace. Okay, so that was episode 3 in our Gypsy series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!